sure my children will be far better than what I am even now. And so they say the taste of the, what is it? Or the pudding is what? Yes. I've ate of the goodness of Nigeria and I'm satisfied. But the best have not yet come. So there's no point for pessimism. There's every reason for optimism. We're not going to start sitting down and talking about what we have done in the past, how people have betrayed us, how Nigeria is not there. That is in the past. And I told somebody the only definition for the past is what? The past. Today I'm going to say that, let's say farewell to the past. Everybody, when we say bye-bye past, everybody say it. No matter how you are going to write the history of this country, no matter how you are going to write it, let's say bye-bye past. Now, beginning from now, another opportunity comes to us. The problem, the good things about celebration and days we mark is that it gives us an opportunity to remake our destiny. That's the whole essence of a birthday, because it allows you to think, I can still remake my life. The first thing I think for us to shape the destiny of this nation is that every one of us here listening to me or watching me on television or listening to me by cassette, we must rise up the giant that is within us. I cannot say it, I cannot overemphasize it. Every man is a genius. Every man is a genius. Can all of us say one go? Every man. Say it again. Say it again. David put it this way. He said, I am fearfully and I am wonderfully made. I am fearfully and I am wonderfully made. Every man is a genius. Yesterday I was with some member of our church, and I watched him working on the computer. He's studying a different course. He's studying the arts, and he was so good in the computer. He was doing all kinds of it. I said, if you were in America, you would have forgotten about your literature, your law, and you would have faced your computer, because people do not reward degrees, they reward achievements. Believe it or not, every one of us have a song yet unsung. Everyone has a poem yet unwritten. Every one of us have an idea still to be announced. Every one of us has a painting still to be exhibited. Every one of us have a passion still to demonstrate it. Everyone has an invention still to be shown to the world. Every one of us has a gift seen to be developing. Every one of us is an undiscovered mine. And rather going around the world looking for a mine, dig out the giant that is in you. You see, let me tell you that most nations are built on the shadow of one man. Can you talk about America without talking about Abraham Lincoln? Without talking of George Washington? Without talking of John F. Kennedy? All of us are enjoying the electric bulb today. Can we talk about that without thinking of Thomas Edison? All of us today are enjoying all the joy of science, but forget that Newton, a young man, unassuming man, was among the progenitors of the science we are talking about today. One man changed the world from what you call the Archaean age to the industrial age. Another man like Einstein brought the world away from the scientific age to the space age, or to the computer age. There is a giant in you. The question is that we're always looking out rather than looking within. When Moses kept on grumbling that he had no one, God said to him, what have you in your hands? Some of us bemoan what we have lost rather than thanking God for what we still have. And he said, it's a rod. He said, put it down. And Jesus says, do not say that the kingdom of God cometh by expectation. He says the kingdom of God is already what? Within you. You see, one of the greatest things I've ever found about life is that whenever you have a passion about something, you have been the one called to address that thing. If you feel that people are dying, maybe God has given you the secret on how people can live long. If people are not well dressed, maybe God has given you the secret on how to clothe the world in great areas of beauty. What you feel bad about is what you are anointed to address. Rise up the giant in you. Emerson said, occasionally we praise what we see outside and say what a great genius, and undermine what is inside. If only we can express what is inside us, the world will say to us what a great genius lies there. The second thing I want us to recognize, we must begin to harness the windows of opportunity that this nation affords. But let me tell you, there are windows of opportunities in this country, and you can tap on them. This nation is ripe for scientific breakthrough. There are very few scientific breakthroughs you can do that anybody cannot. You can give a lecture and somebody will listen to you. Nobody will vet it. There's a room for the civil engineer, there's a room for the art man, there's a room for the nurse, there's a room for the doctor, there's a room for the lecturer, there's a room for the physician, there's a room for everyone. As long as you can think, and you can walk, and you can act, a nation has a large heart to appreciate every effort you do. How many Nigerians have written textbooks in various disciplines? How many have written in animal science, in soil science, in plant science, in medicine, in mathematics, in geography? But if you go to Britain, there's enough books for them to read. So this country has vast opportunities, yet untapped. And I begin to ask myself that only one little effort by me, I will impact my nation. I can change my nation. If I teach one little medical student how to be better, I will reach out to 1,000 or more medical students around the world. Nigeria is still native, looking for someone to cultivate it. If you go to America and say you are a singer, you are going to compete with a lot of Hollywood stars. But sing a great solo here and develop a great solo, you are still in market and you can touch the world and you can make records that many will buy. This is a country that has opportunities unending. You have population to influence. You have people that can look at you and say you have done something, you are something, you can achieve something. There are principals of schools here, there are teachers of geography, of mathematics, you have never written a textbook. There are lecturers who glory in the fact that more students have failed, not knowing that if more students fail, then there is something not only wrong with the student, but wrong with the lecturer's way of teaching. Look at how beautiful this altar is arranged. Do you know that somewhere in the minds of those who arrange this altar, there is something there? There's a wide opportunities in this country. If you are a professor in this country, then you are something of what. But if you are a professor in a country that have millions of professors, you are just one of them. Can I tell you to begin to look for those opportunities around you? Match the giant within you with the opportunity without, and it will make universal sense.
Your time in your hands. A must read for everyone.
To order for copies of this book, simply dial the numbers on the screen or Contact us at the Spokesman Resource Center, Mayfair Shopping Complex, Mayfair, Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria.
Every one of us has a gift seen to be developing. Every one of us is an undiscovered mind.
You're listening to the voice of Reverend Professor G.E. Erhabor.
And rather go around the world looking for a mind, dig out the giant that is in you. That out of the broken pieces of our past, God can build an edifice of hope. How many of us ever realize that Nigeria at one time can have a breakthrough in the banking industry? Several years ago, when I started banking, I realized how we long queued in the bank, how they meticulously fill their thing in a passbook. But now every transaction, as it is done in 1 second, you have it in your phone. Do you ever believe it could ever happen? So many years ago when I was in Britain, I just slot in the phone and into the machine and I get my money. Never very believed that one day it will happen in this country. There is still opportunity in the banking industry. There is still opportunity in every industry in this country. Let's look at the nursing profession. In Britain, there are several nurses, respiratory nurses, cardiac nurses, renal nurses, hematological nurses. You don't need to be competing with a person that you are chief nursing officer and I am head nursing officer. It's unnecessary. If people block one road, go to the other road and make a difference. As I said last time, if you're in electronics and people block you from getting involved in power, then go to communications. There is still opportunities in this country. The third thing I want to say, that if you and I can shape the destiny of this nation, we must stop whining. Now, this whining I think is an American word, but I think it's good. And whining means to complain in a mean or childish manner. To complain in a mean or childish manner. Whining, complaining, 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 complaining. Grumbling, accusing, pointing fingers to people. You are the one that causes it. You are the one that causes it. It is Babangida, it is Shagari, it is Abacha, it is this, it is that. Let me tell you, of the little life I have lived, I have never seen any saint who takes the position of whom he has condemned who does better. I've never seen one. If you have seen, please after this talk let me know. Men are basically self-centered and selfish. They basically say, and let me tell you, every single person is condemned by another person until you are that person. Rather than prophesy doom, let us prophesy boom. Rather than curse the nation, let us bless them. Rather than talk about our messy past, let us talk about a God that believes in miracles. Rather than affirm how we have not made it, let us affirm the ability to make it. I tell you that a pessimistic mindset doesn't ever go far. You see, one thing I find out as I visit the Western nations of the world is that almost every Western person believes in his nation. They praise their nation. They think about their nation. They dream about their nation. And let me tell you, sometimes we look at a thing and say, because it is Nigeria, oh, that shirt, it is Nigeria. But forget that even the best shirts made in the best countries started that way. One thing about civilization is the ability for civilization to develop, improve, and improve. First edition, second edition, third edition. Can we start praising and stop cursing? Research in psychology have told us that people almost become what you repeatedly tell them they should be. Say your son is a dunce, and he dunce, and he dunce, and he dunce, and he dunce. And let him believe it and believe it until one day he becomes a dunce, really to actualize it. Say today your home doesn't matter, your home is not good, you will soon break, you will soon break. Watch out, in 10, 15 years your prophecy will come through. I told somebody that something I saw done by the mother of a child, a mother of somebody I know of. And I think that changed the way I look at people. This guy called the mother. And the mother asked, where are you? And then I told the mother where he is. And the mother spent almost 10, 15 minutes praising the son. Telling the son how he knows he's going to be a great son. How he knows that he's going to make his mark on the surface of the earth. How he knows that he's going to be a son that will be different all over the world. And I said, what a contrast to us today. Where are you? Why should you be there? Is it where you should be? All your mates are not there. And let me tell you, I noticed that this boy has always been doing well. This boy has always been excellent. Because the atmosphere of the father and mother is that of encouragement. Not long ago, Revd Digest gave a research that was done. And some people planted 2 plants, one on the right and one on the left. Gave them the same condition. But on this plant, people kept on saying evil about the plant. You will not do well. You will not succeed. All those plants are giving you all the manure in the world, you will not do well. Then some group of people went to this other plant and started saying everything good about this plant. The sunshine will make you shine. Your manure will do well. This was not from a Christian magazine. It was from a secular magazine. And they found out that the plants that they kept on saying you will do well, you will do well, did very well. While the other plant did not do well. Recently I read another research that was published in a medical journal, not even a Christian journal, in which they talked about the power of prayer, and in which they looked at a certain group of people who had had surgery. They grouped them into 2, and one group had surgery and the other group had almost the same surgery, almost the same surgeons, the same hospitals,